Hey everybody, so in the next few days, I'm going to be releasing the official music video for my next song, Movin.
What if I told you I care? What if I told you I'd stay? What if I told you that I'd never walk away? I'd never cheat or stray, we'd never chip like
Hey
a
everybody, so yeah, I'm dropping a new music video this week. And so once again, this is a good chance to do a BTS vlog, talk a little bit about the music video, the purpose behind it, how it was shot. For those who don't already know, my last few albums, some of them were produced by me, which means I made the beats for them. Not all of them, but some of my last few were. And for all of the last few albums, they were mixed, mastered, obviously written, but storyboarded, directed, and edited by myself. I've been running a full-time videography business for more than 5 years now, so I do have the experience with videography, directing, and all of these things, and I've been utilizing that to put all of my music out. You know, I hate to be repetitive, and I do mention this fact in a lot of my vlogs and a lot of my BTS stuff, but there's a few reasons behind that, right? So for one, I'm very proud that I put this much effort into all of my art. I'm proud that I can mix and master. I'm proud that I produce some beats. Even if I don't feel like I'm that great of a producer, I'm still proud that I put in the effort to show that my art and my craft really means a lot to me. So that's one reason. You know, another reason, now that I'm getting a little bit older, you know, unfortunately, I feel like the lane of rap and hip hop is, you know, it can almost feel, I respect the hell out of the craft, but it can almost feel embarrassing to be in this lane sometimes. And that's just because everything is so oversaturated with mediocre content. It's saturated with very mediocre rappers who don't really give a shit about their craft, who put in the minimum amount of effort. You know, somebody can pick up their iPhone, make a quick little music video.
Yo, check the mic, 1, 2, this is how we do. Living large, pink dress, gold grill, it's true.
Have some catchy shit in it. So yeah, you know, it's kind of a hard spot to be in. The lane is definitely oversaturated. It's a lot of artists talking about the same shit to get views. And I'm proud to say that in my opinion, a lot of my music does have meaning and it does have purpose. And I'm having to dig deep inside of myself to pull certain things out and certain emotions and putting it out there. I don't think you'll ever find like a shaking ass song in my catalog.
Yo, we on this boat, making waves so high. Girls twerking hard under the sunny sky.
For anything that I do, so there's that. But yeah, so now let's talk about what the song is about. So I know this is a repetitive thing, but a lot of what this song is about a past relationship and infidelity. So why is this a recurring theme through all of this album? So when I wrote this album, it was very close to the end of a 4-year relationship. It was someone I was very close to. We both had children about the same age, who grew up together, and you know, we loved each other very much, but the relationship ended poorly. And that person had struggled with substances for a while. That's kind of what the song is about, as did I, but eventually I got pretty much mostly sober, and they struggled for a while with that. Now I'd like to pause here and also explain something else that I feel like is very important, because it would be very easy not to address these things, and it's very easy to write a song with only one perspective or one aspect, but I like to take the time during these vlogs to kind of dive in and give some extra context and why it's important. So when I wrote these songs, obviously I was in a place of, you know, the relationship had just ended. I was in a place of anger, of frustration, and hurt or whatnot. But one thing I've mentioned since ending that relationship over the last few years is I really haven't ever been in a place of bitterness, of resentment. I forgave that person a long time ago, and though we went through a lot of things and there was infidelity and a lot of hurt, a lot of lies, I learned so much from that relationship, and I was able to carry it into future relationships because of that, to know what to look for, to know what was important to me. So I actually learned a lot from what ended up being one of the worst relationship endings I had ever had. So it actually really assisted me. And you know, there's a lot of other videos that I plan on releasing that it's definitely been a challenge, because even after ending this relationship with that person, I still really care about them, and I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to bash them. I don't want to throw them under the bus because of the things that happened in our past relationship. And you know, they've actually changed a lot. So the woman who the song is about actually eventually got clean and sober. Recovery really changed her life, and now she helps other people do that. But unfortunately, these songs are like a snapshot in time of what happened during that period of time. But they don't reflect on who that person is, who that person became, just who that person kind of was at the moment, and all the things that went into the relationship at the time. But I feel like this is an important time to kind of dive into the details about that. I also hope that it reflects in a lot of my songs, that it's a lot of the things I'm saying aren't just coming from a place of anger, but I hope they are a good reflection of me seeing both sides. Something I often repeat in a lot of the lyrics and a lot of the songs is the fact that I still love this person. Yes, they hurt me, but I learned a lot. Yes, they hurt me, but I still love them. I have a deep love for them, for our past family. And I hope that that energy also bleeds across, because none of these songs are just like a fuck you bitch song, or, you know, you ain't shit song. I don't really make songs like that. So I would like to think that they are a lot more deeper, heartfelt, and understanding than that. So I hope that that energy kind of bleeds through. So now that we're past that, I'd like to get into kind of how we shot the song. So it starts out with a friend of mine who goes by the name of Rika. She was starting out the video. She's walking back to our home. I'm kind of packing up my things and she's walking home drunk, kind of stumbling to the doorway. We get into a fight. I go out to leave. She's trying to stop me. Just like the classical relationship type stuff. I throw a gun in the bag and I'm out on to the next relationship. So this role of the redheaded girl is played by a model who goes by Agony Flores. She was really cool to work with. We had a few kind of difficult scenes. Some unexpected things happened that I'll go over during the shoot, but she was very cool about it. Very easy to work with. A very respectable girl as well. I didn't really hire any like video vixens for this shoot or anything. But yeah, she shows up in the scene. I hop into the car. We're kind of riding around town. And during the shots, I'm reminiscing about my old relationship. I'm going over it. And at some point, I'm declining calls from my ex-girlfriend, who in certain shots you can see on close-ups is labeled like X parentheses Satan or something like that. I just figured it was a good way when I was storyboarding it just to add a little bit of a comedic element to the video. Now during the romantic scenes between me and Yeni, there was a few elements in there that I feel like are worth talking about. So for one, a lot of these scenes were shot at my buddy Kobe Barrett's videography and photography studio. He's been a good friend of mine. He also helped a lot with directing this video. I've already gone over it in other videos, but one thing I definitely like to mention is this friend of mine, Kobe Barrett, he originally got me into videography to begin with. He got me into shooting weddings. He's been a good friend of mine for more than 5 years now. He helped a lot with this video and other videos, and I don't remember if his director credits are on the screen, but I've gone over why that is in other videos. I was shooting a lot of these by myself originally. A lot of these newer music videos, I was just hiring almost someone as a camera grip to shoot my videos. I was storyboarding, coming up with the angles, the shots, directing fully. But then eventually I brought Kobe on, and while I'm just going through directing all of these videos, I was a little late to put his director credits on for some of them, not all of them. But once I realized what I was doing during the edit, I'm like, oh man, I gotta include him in there too. So instead of just including him in the description, I put his credits on screen as well during a lot of these music videos. So without him, without these actresses and the people helping, none of these videos would be what they are in their current form. So super appreciative to Kobe and both of the girls who helped me with this video. Towards the end of the video, me and the red-haired model, we get back to the house, going over missed calls on my phone. She hangs up on my ex pretty much, and we get to the romantic scene. Now, I wish I had something cooler to say during this part, but and I thought about actually not sharing it at all, but I figured, fuck it, I might as well share it, man. It's worth talking about. So on the kissing scene day, I actually ended up getting a cold sore last minute, and I had to, you know, run it by her like, hey, you know, we're probably gonna have to be a little like inventive with how we pull this off. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I got this going on. She's like, it's cool, it's no problem, you know, we'll make it work, no big deal. So we kind of had to do like a head-to-head thing and shoot the angles a little bit lower so that you could see that we weren't actually kissing in that scene. We also planned out to have me like take off my shirt, take off her bra, and kind of land it by an alarm clock and the phone at the same time so that we could do like a reveal shot showing the missed calls and messages from my ex as the bra kind of lands right near the phone without covering it up. We had to redo that shot a few times. I kept having to retake off my shirt just to time it right, pretend to take off her bra at a certain time, and then without looking, toss it to land at a very specific time. And I had to have my buddy Kobe count down like 3, 2, 1, toss, just so we could all have everything line up perfectly and have the nice reveal shot as the bra lands and you can see the phone. To certain details like that, I feel like it's cool to mention. I have put a lot of effort into all of these things. Nothing's really just simple and putting the camera down. It's all done with cinematography, angles, emotion, and all of these things in mind. None of these videos were really just thrown together. So I feel like that's worth mentioning. That particular scene definitely took a lot of takes. Like I said, the model was very cool about it. She's very respectable, actually. She's not some video vixen I brought in for the job. But yeah, while we're shooting also, and I'll include some of the BTS footage, but while we were shooting at my buddy Kobe's studio, at the time he was renting half of the studio out to another company. So during that time, we had gone over to that side of the studio to shoot this romantic scene. So there was an older guy at the desk, like watching us do everything, completely not involved in what we were doing, but he's just at the desk chilling, watching us redo the kissing scenes, redo the groping scenes, and tossing the bra. So that just added on to it. Now, of course, you know, when you're acting or doing scenes like that, there's always going to be some extra people in the room, but I'm sure it didn't make it any more comfortable for the two of us, but you know, it was what it was. But she was real cool about it. We had a few good laughs in between takes. Also, I wish I had talked about this on other BTS videos or specifically on the part-time video, but she was actually supposed to be, I believe, a big part of the part-time video as well. I need to go back over the footage, but there was originally some scenes on the part-time music video that just never got used. Another interesting thing is when you're planning multiple shoots for the same day, there's a lot of planning that goes into that. So certain outfit changes, certain things have to be the same. There has to be congruency between shots. And for part-time, on top of all the performance shots, it was actually supposed to be like a cinematic piece or a storyline that went along with it. I don't want to delve too much into that since we're doing BTS for the Moving On song, but just real quick, yeah, there was a piece in part-time where I was supposed to be with a girl and I'd given her a wedding ring. She had left and I had tossed the ring out the window, and then later it just like magically reappeared in the car on my passenger side seat where she had been before. And because things weren't organized properly between all the shoots and the takes that we did in the same day, I think it got put into the wrong file and I ended up just starting to edit, and I got so deep into it that by the time I realized, oh man, we're missing those B-roll scenes, those storyline scenes, I was like, you know, fuck it, we'll just not use them. You know what I mean? So maybe one day I'll be able to put that out and have a little bit more of a backstory on it as well, or even maybe one day, maybe I'll do a second edit for the part-time video if I feel like it's worth it. So now for the driving scenes, nothing crazy in these, but we were driving around in the Mustang doing the performance shots. For some of them, I had my buddy Kobe in the back of the Mustang trying to pick good angles. When you're doing a shot like that, you have to kind of avoid all reflections and all the mirrors, the side view mirror, the rear view mirror. So he's kind of ducked down on certain shots trying to figure out the best angle to get without him appearing in the reflection. For other shots, I believe we had another driver in his work truck driving while he was kind of hanging out getting shots. Nothing too crazy, but there is some other music videos coming out pretty soon where we kind of went the extra mile, and those were a lot of fun. We also had the same Mustang rented for another video of mine that we're releasing soon, but that one we went a little crazier for that one. We had another buddy, we're driving around pretty fast. We had Jenny driving around the Mustang, I'm doing performance shots. Our buddy is driving the other truck, and Kobe is strapped into the back of his truck bed, almost hanging out, and he's got the camera rig getting all the shots of us. And that was a good break for me because I'm sure I can pull up the footage somewhere, but me and Kobe had done weddings before going up like mountains, freezing cold, icy mountains, where he's the one driving and instead I'm on the hood of like a little Corolla with a big ass two-handed camera rig while he's pushing like 50 miles an hour down a mountain. So it was kind of nice to have him on the other side of everything for these shoots. So that was cool. So that's how we got a lot of the Mustang shots. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up a lot of the details of the video. Like I said, I don't want to retouch on it too much, but the reason that I mention these is because I hope that the effort that I put behind the music, the effort that I put behind the writing, the storyboarding, the songs that I've mixed and mastered and produced, the effort that I put behind just my art and the content I put out as a whole with these vlogs and everything, I just really hope that it shows. Because like I said, nowadays, there's so much half-ass saturated content out there with people that aren't even really trying, it would appear. So at the end of the day, I really hope that that's something that shines through. My music and my craft has really been an amazing outlet for me that really gets me through in my life and gets me through a lot of the things that I go through. So I hope that the effort that I put into these vlogs, my videos, and everything I do as a whole, I hope that it really shows. And I hope that whoever watches all of my content can really appreciate that. So as usual, as soon as these shorts for this vlog and the full vlog comes out, I'm going to be releasing the Moving On music video pretty much right after. So anyone who watches these videos, anyone who listens to my music, if you guys like the music, if you guys like the vlog, if you want to leave a comment, if you want to like and share the video, subscribe, it's incredibly appreciated. So thank you guys. Also, everyone who helped with the video, my buddy Kobe, the models, anyone who's helped with all these projects, has been quite a lot of you actually on these last 2 albums that have really helped. And without you guys, it wouldn't have been possible. So thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you guys like this vlog. I hope you guys like the music video. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to catch you on the next one. All right.